Facts about solar system planets and things. NASA has taken a closer look at 55 Cancri, an exoplanet that earned the nickname Diamond Planet, due to research that suggests it has a carbon-rich composition.
Nicely done. Okay is a solid answer. When the part of the world that you're living in is leaning towards the sun, it's dash. On track, summer is the correct answer. How long does it take for the moon to make one full revolution around the Earth? You got it. Your choice 1 month is right. The spinning movement of the Earth about its axis is called the Earth's dash. Solid response. Rotation is a valid choice. Identify the astronaut who set first step on an artificial satellite of Earth. You're right. Neil Armstrong is the correct answer. Which of the following countries is situated on the lower part of the globe? Seoul. Correct. Brazil is the right answer. A dash is when a small section of the moon facing Earth is lighted. Sharp thinking. Crescent moon is the right choice. The illustration represents which of the following? Excellent choice. Revolution of Earth is the right answer. The Earth is rotating on its axis, creating dash. Good thinking. Day and night is the right answer. Dash is the apparent changing shapes of the moon. Well reasoned. Moon phases is the correct choice. Which phase of the moon is pictured? Good job. Your answer crescent works well here. Where does Sunita Williams work? Great thinking. NASA is the right choice. Name this galaxy. Nice work. You chose Milky Way and it is correct. Identify and name the image. Nice selection. Globe is the correct and valid answer. According to Dayashi, for any celestial body to be called as planet, it needs to fulfill 3 criteria. Excellent. O is a brilliant choice. People living in Brazil and Argentina do not fall due to the Earth's gravitational force. Bravo. True is the answer. Sunita Williams set a new record for the longest space flight by a woman in year. Perfect. In 2007 is the correct choice. Which term describes the force that pulls objects towards the center of the Earth? Right choice. Gravity is the best answer. What is the name of the force with which the Earth pulls everything towards it? Great job. Gravitational pull equal to gravity is the accurate answer. Which of the following countries are situated on the lower part on the globe? Smart move. Brazil is an accurate answer. The force due to which the Earth pulls everything towards itself is. Correct response. Gravitational force is the most accurate answer. There are lines drawn on the ground between the states and countries. Well picked. False is the correct answer. The Earth pulls everything towards itself due to gravitational force. You chose true, and it is correct. How many days it took to cover 1,400 kilometers from Mumbai to Delhi? Smart pick. 3 is the correct choice. Naina named the woman who made the record for the longest space flight. Valid point. Sunita Williams is true. 4 name the force by which Earth pulls everything towards itself. Exactly. Gravitational force makes sense and it is right choice. The planet of our solar system, where life is possible till now? Right again. Earth is a valid answer. A special type of vehicle used for going into space is known as. Strong choice. Spaceship is the right answer. 3. Who is the first Indian woman to complete the space mission? Well done. Kalpana Chawla is the right choice. Kalpana's dream was to come to India and meet school children. Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true. Who set the world record of longest flight by a woman in 2007? Good thinking. Sunita Williams is the right answer. Sunita Williams was inspired by her teacher in her childhood. Excellent choice. False is the right answer. In how many days Gaurav and Lona reached Manali from Delhi? Good job. Your answer too works well here. Venus have the same size of Earth, but spin the opposite way. Solid response. True is a valid choice. Houseboats can be as long as 80 feet and 8 to 9 feet wide. On track. True is the correct answer. When there is no gravity, the situation will be called as. Correct response. Zero gravity is the most accurate answer. Do the lines that we see on globe exist really on Earth? You chose Nog, and it is correct. 2. Who was the first person in the world to go in space? You're right. Yuri Gagarin is the correct answer. Which of the following festivals is related to the moon? Strong choice. Guru Purab is the right answer. In which vehicle do the astronauts go into the space? Great thinking. Spaceship is the right choice. Besides oil, what else is found deep inside the Earth? Valid point. All of the above is true. Can we drink water easily in space as we do on Earth? Smart move. No is an accurate answer. Sunita wanted to become a teacher when she was young. Well done. True is the right choice. Tourists who come to Srinagar love to stay in a dash. Well reasoned. Houseboat is the correct choice. Sunita was floating in spaceship because of the dash. Bravo. Absence of gravity is the answer. For which organization did Sunita Williams work for? Nice selection. NASA is the correct and valid answer. Sunita Williams has more than dash months in space. Nicely done. 6 is a solid answer. If our Earth looks like a globe, then where are we? Perfect. On the globe is the correct choice. How far did Sunita went into space from the Earth? Great job. 360 kilometers is the accurate answer. The sky, stars, sun and moon are inside the globe. Clear logic. Your choice false is sound and 100% true. Which one don't need petrol or diesel for working? Smart pick. Electric bike is the correct choice. When did Sunita and her friends take off to space? Exactly. 9/12/2006 makes sense and it is right choice. How many months did Sunita Williams spend in space? Correct. More than 6 months is the right answer.
Sunita Williams has spent more than dash in space.
Excellent. 6 months is a brilliant choice.
Kalpana Chawla died with how many other members?
You got it. Your choice 7 is right.
When did Sunita Williams first travel to space?
Well picked. December 9, 2006 is the correct answer.
The third, what is the natural satellite of the Earth?
Right again. Moon is a valid answer. Who was the first Indian woman to be in space?
Nice work. You chose Kalpana Chawla, and it is correct.
A spaceship carry astronauts into the space.
Sharp thinking. True is the right choice.
What did Sunita want to be when she was young? Oh.
Right choice. Diver is the best answer.
The sky, stars, sun and moon are all in space.
Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true.
Dash a planet is known as the invisible planet.
Excellent. Pluto is a brilliant choice.
Who was the first person to walk on the moon?
Solid response. Neil Armstrong is a valid choice.
How much far did Sunita Williams go in space?
Exactly. 360 kilometers makes sense and it is right choice.
Food and water also floats in space like us?
You got it? Your choice true is right.
There are dashed planets in the solar system.
Smart pick. 8 is the correct choice.
Once, who was the first Indian to go to space?
You chose Rakesh Sharma, and it is correct.
8. How does Earth look like from the space?
Correct response. Square is the most accurate answer.
Sunita Williams went 630 km away from Earth.
Sharp thinking. False is the right choice. The first man to walk on the moon was.
Good job. Your answer, Neil Armstrong, works well here. In which year Sunita Williams went to space?
Correct. 2006 is the right answer.
The natural satellite of the Earth is.
On track. The moon is the correct answer.
Will the smokes of vehicles cause problem?
Great thinking. Yes is the right choice.
In which country was Sunita Williams born?
Valid point. United States is true.
If we throw a ball up in the sky, it will.
Good thinking. Come down is the right answer. Which is the spherical model of the Earth?
Well picked. Globe is the correct answer.
Many families in Srinagar live in a donga.
Right again. True is a valid answer.
The Earth pulls everything towards itself.
Nicely done. True is a solid answer.
In high school, Sunita wanted to become a.
Smart move. Diver is an accurate answer.
Which one is also called a shooting star?
Great job. Meteorite is the accurate answer.
Changpas move from one place to another.
Well done. True is the right choice.
Food and water also float in a spaceship.
Nice work. You chose true and it is correct.
Gaurav Jani had made a tent made of dash. Well reasoned. Nylon is the correct choice.
Which fuel is not harmful to our health? Excellent choice. Low peak is the right answer.
What is the meaning of the word jewel?
Welcome is the answer.
The festivals related to moon are.
You're right. All of these is the correct answer.
How many days are in a calendar year? Nice selection. 365 is the correct and valid answer.
What is the name of NASA's telescope?
Strong choice. Hubble is the right answer.
Blue part on globe is called the sea.
Right choice. True is the best answer.
Who was the first man to be on moon?
Perfect. Neil Armstrong is the correct choice.
Who is Sunita Williams' best friend?
You chose Kalpana Chawla, and it is correct.
Which of the following are in space? Bravo. All of these is the answer.
The blue parts of the globe are dash.
Nice selection. C's is the correct and valid answer.
Moon changes its phase every night.
Sharp thinking. True is the right choice.
Why doesn't the seawater fall off?
You got it. Your choice due to gravity is right.
What is the model of Earth called?
Solid response. Globe is a valid choice.
Water floats like blobs in space.
Good thinking. True is the right answer.
Ladakh gets very little rainfall.
On track. True is the correct answer.
Should we use petrol judiciously?
Correct response. Yes is the most accurate answer.
Moon doesn't have its own light.
Excellent choice. True is the right answer.
How many moons does Saturn have?
Excellent. A2 is a brilliant choice.
NASA is the space agency of.
Exactly. America makes sense and it is right choice.
7. Name the model of the Earth.
You're right. Globe is the correct answer.
Dash was Gaurav Jenny's partner.
Great job. Lana, a motorcycle is the accurate answer.
Water floats like dash in space.
Good job. Your answer blob works well here.
Where was Kalpana Chawla born?
Smart move. Karnal is an accurate answer.
Which of these are in space?
Well done. All the above is the right choice.
6. Sunita William is in dash.
Valid point. Astronaut is true.
First woman to go in space.
Well picked. Valentina Tereshkova is the correct answer.
Moon is a natural satellite.
Well reasoned. True is the correct choice.
Moon has light of its own.
Clear logic. Your choice false is sound and 100% true.
Globe is the model of.
Smart pick. The Earth is the correct choice.
What does Earth rotate on?
Nice work. You chose axis and it is correct.
Which one is eco-friendly?
Nicely done. Cycle is a solid answer.
Sunita is in the group of.
Right again. NASA is a valid answer.
Why was Sunita floating?
Perfect. Because of gravity is the correct choice.
Who has Kalapna Choila?
Strong choice. Astronaut is the right answer.
Pluto is a dash planet.
Great thinking. Dwarf is the right choice.
What is a globe?
Correct. Model of Earth is the right answer.
Copy of Earth?
Right choice. Globe is the best answer.
Earth is dash.
Well reasoned. A planet is the correct choice.
Sun is a dash.
Great thinking. Star is the right choice. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format.
Valid point. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is true.